Welcome back, everyone, to Betsson Group Live. So as you guys know, if you've tuned in before, if you have any questions about this episode or any questions to our guest, you can write your questions in the comment section and our HR team will be able to answer these questions live during the whole broadcast. So today I have with me a very special guest. He is head of anti-money laundering and risk operations at Betsson Group, and his name is Jamie Frendo. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Cheers.
So we're going to talk today more about anti-money laundering and risk. We're going to talk about the department, how it's structured, about careers within the department, and we're also getting to know Jamie a little bit better. So I'm really excited for that. So let's start off by learning a little bit more about what this department does. What does anti-money laundering and AML mean? So tell us about that, Jamie.
So anti-money laundering, it's something that a criminal, or let's say a group of criminals, would try and do, whereby they're trying making their illicit funds look legitimate or clean.
Yeah.
The way this would happen is potentially if somebody's got some dirty money and they want to make it look clean, they would potentially deposit it into a gaming company and then try and withdraw these funds to, let's say, a different bank account.
Yeah.
This in Betsson Group, I mean, like we have several procedures and processes in place to identify this.
Yeah.
For example, we would not let an individual move funds from one account to another.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, in a nutshell, there's a lot to talk about here. So you mentioned a little bit now, but how do we specifically stop this from happening at Betsson?
Well, as I said, there are several procedures and processes in place. One of them is, as I said, we would always send the funds back to where they originated from. Yeah. However, in other situations, there would be items, when you start playing with Betsson, we need to know who our player is. So you would potentially be asked for certain documents or documentation. One of these documents would potentially be a source of income or source of funds to identify that these funds are actually legitimate.
Yeah.
Then there are several other checks that are conducted, making sure that the funds are used for what they're supposed to be used for. And several other steps, basically. Yeah.
And why is anti-money laundering important to the business?
It's not only important to gaming, it's extremely important to any financial institution. I mean, like banks, gaming companies, and so forth. Yeah. I would say the most important thing is the trust. Individuals using our site want to have the trust that we're not involved with illicit activity, you know, so we make sure that this is not happening within Betsson Group. So definitely the trust. However, there are several other reasons why not to, including fines, adverse media, so forth.
Yeah.
So it's extremely important for it not to be occurring.
And you are head of AML and risk. What does your role entail?
My role is making sure that we have got the required resources and tools in place to be able to identify money laundering, as well as making sure that we're up to date with the most recent trends and regulatory requirements. And last but not least is definitely education. We need to make sure that everyone within the company, even if you're not working within the AML team or within the fraud team, understands what anti-money laundering involves, how it can occur, what are the typical signs of it happening, and make sure that everyone is aware of it.
Yeah. I'm curious to know a little bit more about the team. So why don't you tell us how the team is structured and, you know, a little bit about what the culture is like in the team?
The culture is I mean, like we're all willing to catch these trends, these identify these patterns of money laundering. I mean, like it's a special feeling when you actually manage to catch somebody, especially when you know they're criminals and they're trying to launder funds. The team is structured. We've got payments and fraud analysts. Payments and fraud analysts are looking at the money leaving the company. Okay. And then you've got the risk and AML team, which are pretty much looking at the money coming into the company and the overall activity. combining it all together, we're ensuring, I mean, like we're pretty much checking the same customer, the same transactions, but we're making sure that there are no gaps and that they're checked from several different instances.
Yeah.
We've got analysts, risk analysts, payments analysts. Then we have shift leaders, team leaders, as well as myself as the head of AML.
Okay. So quite a big team.
Yes, quite.
And sometimes at Betsson we have internal awards. And speaking about culture, your team actually won quite recently the internal award for how the team lives and breathes the company value passion, which is one of our company values. So why do you think that your team won this internal award for passion?
I like to say, enjoy the work that you're doing, and you won't have to work a day in your life. And this is not something that only I feel within the company. I firmly believe that everyone that's working within my team has got the same attitude. The passion is definitely something that we look for in individuals, and we try and instill either by pushing competitions and making sure that people interact with each other. As well as celebrating any cases that we've stopped or successes altogether.
Yeah. Great. And now I would like to get to know you a little bit better, Jamie. And this is about this time in the interview. I usually ask, how did you end up in Malta? But I can't ask you that question, can I? Because you are Maltese.
Yep.
But how did you get into gaming? I can ask that question.
Yes, you can ask that question. I've been in gaming for a good 15 years now, and I never intended to get into gaming. I started my career within the catering industry. I ran my own pub and restaurant. And 15 years ago, somebody walked into my establishment, and they became a regular. From there, we got to talking about gaming, and they brought some friends over that used to work with a gaming company in Malta back then. And we started organizing poker tournaments and games. And just the way that the interactions and the staff were, everybody was happy, everybody enjoyed, they all showed a passion towards the game itself. And basically one thing led to another, and I moved on to gaming from there.
Wow. That's an amazing transition. And now that you mentioned that, I have to ask you, what's your, shall I say, favorite meal to cook, or a meal that just screams Jamie?
I've got my family's half Maltese and half British, so I like to stick to a lot of the traditional British cooking as well, with a bit of Maltese flair in it. I would say a good roast pork with pork crackling and apple gravy. Yeah.
Wow. And actually, as a kind of a gift to you guys, we're going to post one of Jamie's famous recipes in the comments after the show. So if you want to cook this recipe, you can find all that you need in the comments. So what's your favorite thing in Malta, would you say, about Malta?
It's such a small island, but the diversity, the culture, and the mix of people that are here is incredible.
Yeah.
And something also about Malta is that we don't have much, but we make the most of what we have on this island.
Yeah.
Like we enjoy the summer, beaches.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so 15 years experience in the gaming industry. What has your career at Betsson Group been like?
Exciting. I've been in Betsson for 5 years this month, actually.
Oh.
I started as bonus abuse and affiliate fraud manager, and the opportunity quickly came up to go within the AML team. And I've been heading the AML and Risk Operations Department for the past 3.5, 4 years now.
Okay, what an exciting career.
Indeed.
And we are recruiting a lot, also for your team, the AML and Risk team. What are some typical roles that you guys usually recruit for, would you say?
We have several openings. I mean, I would say payments and fraud analyst or a risk and AML analyst would be a good starting point to join. As such, there are other opportunities coming up, but as a starting point, that's definitely where I would apply.
And what kind of person do you look for usually when you apply? Do they need previous gaming experience, for instance?
You can come with previous gaming experience, but we would train you basically from scratch. So ideally, we want somebody that's passionate, eager to learn new things, and wanting to make an actual difference within their role.
Yeah, so that's most important.
Definitely.
Yeah. And what do you enjoy most about your role, Jamie? If you could pick a few things, might be hard.
Catching criminals. I mean, like as I said, it's a good feeling ensuring that we're covered basically from the AML side, and we're not allowing Betsson to be used to smuggle funds through. That's definitely one of the best feelings that there is.
Yeah. And what would you tell someone who's watching this episode? They're curious about AML and risk and wants to start a career within this field. What would you tell that person?
If you're somebody that's, as I said, interested in seeing extremely, how can I say, looking at complex cases, doing investigations, digging out basically any dirt that you can find out on individuals and making sure that these funds do not come through the company, then yeah, go for it, definitely.
Then you're the right person for that position, yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for giving us that insight into AML and risk, especially for the audience who might not know anything about gaming. This gives them a great overview for sure. So I'm going to end this episode with a few fire questions because we all want to get to know you a little bit better. So I'm going to fire them at you, and then you have to choose one of the options that I give you or answer very quickly. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, are you sure?
Definitely.
Okay. So, motorcycle or car?
Easy, motorcycle.
Do you have a motorcycle even?
I have a couple, yeah.
I have a feeling because you answered that so quickly. Eating out or cooking yourself at home?
That's a bit more difficult, but I would say cooking myself at home, yeah.
Okay. So you're in the kitchen, you have your groove on. Do you use butter or oil? Olive oil.
Olive oil.
Okay. Well done or rare?
Rare.
Rare. That was quick.
Rare.
So what do you prefer? Rock music or pop music?
Rock.
Rock music. Yes. Why is that?
I think it's something to do with my upbringing, listening to Nirvana at school and these sort of types of music. Yeah, rock, definitely.
Cool. And which one did you choose? Apple or Android?
Android.
Android?
Yes.
Wow, that was a bit of a surprise, actually.
Android.
Most people say Apple. Thank you so much, Jamie, for being here. And thank you to the audience as well for tuning in to another great episode. It was great to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you guys want to read more about our next episode, you can go on to our LinkedIn's page and check out the tab events and read all about the next episode there. So thank you so much, guys. See you next time. Bye.
At Betsson Group, we believe in fair play. We operate with responsibility and integrity to offer you a safe, secure, and fun experience. When you engage with our brands, it should be for entertainment alone. Responsible gaming is a cornerstone of our business, so we have a qualified team ready to help 24/7. Our automated screening tools identify high-risk behavior, and our range of self-help tools and self-assessment tests help you keep yourself safe. We want you to enjoy our products and keep having fun. Betsson Group, looking out for you from the start.